Okay guys, here we go. The video you're about to see is a little choppy in spots because I edited out a lot of the ums and a lot of my rambling. There's some of that is still in the video. This is something I want to work on as I go forward. But here we go. This is the Hey Internet, it's horror here tag video. Thanks. Hey everybody, this is Mr. Dan here of the channel Mr. Dan in Horror. This channel's been in the works for a couple months now. Actually, I've been thinking about it, watching a lot of horror movies, as I always do, and television shows. Made a pretty decent purchase of books the other day from Amazon. I want to get back into reading as well, and that's my son Harry up there playing video games. So you may hear his he's very interactive with his friends when they play. You may hear him in the background. I'm just going to let it go though, because he needs to de-stress. He's had a lot of tests lately. At any rate,
I really got started and decided to actually do it was I've actually I've been watching some
Nightwatch Zone videos and live streams, and I love the collaborations that he's doing. I'll tell the story and give some attribution to some of the other channels that led me to his channel later. But, you know, I mentioned in one of the chats that I was thinking about starting a channel, and he was just like, do it. And then he said, what's it going to be called? So right on the spot, I thought of Mr. Dan in Horror. He said, let me know when you have a video up, just like that. And then he remembered like 2 days later, he was like, let me know when you get your channel started. So I thought that was pretty cool. And he did a tag video from Eric. Hey Internet, it's Eric here. And I forget the title of it actually, I'm just gonna go through it. And he said, anyone that's watching this video, consider yourself tagged. And then I mentioned, hey, maybe I'll do this for my first video. And again, he said, go for it and do it. So much encouragement from Nightwatch Zone. And also, I just want to mention that even before I've gotten any content up, Coriander from the Nightwatch Zone has subscribed, as has Prim001 Abel. I watched a live stream of his the other day with Manic, and I mentioned in the comments, they were talking about crazy Asian horror movies from the 90s. I mentioned that I used to have a poster of The Bride with White Hair up, but it scared my daughter, so we had to take it down. I wish I still had that poster. We still got our Chinese New Year decorations up, by the way. But yeah, I'm working on cleaning out my little man cave area so I can make some videos in there. But I'm just gonna get into it, okay? And maybe you'll learn a little bit about what kind of movies I'm into as we go. Favorite slasher villain would be Michael Myers. I'm not actually a huge slasher fan. I did go out of my way a few years ago to check off some of the boxes that I hadn't seen, like The Prowler and The Burning were probably the two big ones. But as far as favorite villain, it's pretty close, but I think you gotta go with Michael Myers. Just the way that Loomis describes him as being soulless and having these like dead eyes, and just to see him as like an unstoppable force in the first movie. I think he's been played well by other actors in other movies, certainly. But boy, the first one really grabs you. I mean, he's the ultimate, I think. Next is worst sequel. Okay, I'm gonna say Jeepers Creepers 3. It wasn't good. Wasn't good. A movie that I wish more people talked about. I did hear it come up the other day in a video. That would be Mulberry Street. This is a Jim Mickle directed film. Clicking my pen. This is a Jim Mickle directed film with Nick D'Amici, and they have actually collaborated on a number of good films, such as Stakeland and We Are What We Are. And it's about rat people. Oh, I know. It came up in a conversation between Lady Shasha on What Did I Just Watch and Crystal Connor, where they had it in their list of zombie movies. And I thought it was interesting because I have an idea for a video about movies that almost could have been zombie movies, but maybe they changed it because the creators felt like there were too many zombie movies. So this movie's about rat people. And there's even a line in the movie where somebody's like, what? What are you talking about? And he's like, fucking rat people. You know, as the rat people are breaking down the doors of this apartment. It's got great, but if you can get past that, it's got great characters. It's a well-written movie, well acted, really finely etched characters. You know, these are not cardboard cutouts. You feel like you're there in this apartment complex and in this neighborhood with the people. It's pretty good. A remake I prefer over the original. Abilities. I think I'll go with The Hills Have Eyes. I didn't know what to expect when I saw it. I watched the remake, then I went back and watched the original, which I remembered pretty well, and enjoyed again the second time. I just think that's how you do a remake. I think, you know, you add something, you use modern special effects and timing and pacing. Makeup effects were great. It's quite horrific in parts. Great sympathetic. Ruby is a great character in this one. I think she was a better character in the remake. It's actually one of my favorite characters ever. But yeah, I thought that was great. Movies that didn't live up to the hype. Now this is a strange one. I almost said Veronica because I couldn't think of anything. I thought it was just a pretty good possession movie. Not the best ever. But then I thought, well, who hyped it? Nobody told me it was the best possession movie ever. That was the advertising that did that. So then I started thinking about a double feature that I had for myself a couple years ago when I was the only one home for the whole weekend. I got some old sci-fi movies. One of them was The Terror from Beyond Space, because I knew that it was in partial inspiration for Alien, or at least I think that's the way it's described. And it's, you know, it's just kind of a standard sci-fi movie. It's a creature on the ship, and they just go through various ways of trying to exterminate it. And it's almost like they run out of ideas, and perhaps the filmmakers ran out of ideas. You know, first they try shooting it. That doesn't work. And then at the end they go back to shooting it after they've tried many other things. And perhaps, and I did leave a comment on the What Did I Just Watch channel that on her Lady Shasha's green slime review that green slime is more fun. It's as crazy as it is. That one's actually the fun one, as far as inspirations for Alien. Horror animal. I'm gonna go with Beast from The Hills Have Eyes. I believe there were 2 dogs in the original. I don't quite remember, but I like the way in the remake, and again, possibly also in the original. I'm focusing on the remake here. I like the way you had Beauty and Beast, the cannibals, the irradiated cannibals, make the mistake of killing the more docile dog, Beauty, leaving Beast alive. I believe that's the purpose of the names. I'm not really sure that you would wait until a pup showed personality before you named it, but that's kind of what I gathered they were going for there. So at the end of the film, as you know, Beast is able to help exact his revenge on one of the cannibals. And I'm not a dog person. I'm not a cat person. Damn creepy ass cats. Don't like them. But Beast is a good character. Next, a book by someone other than Stephen King that you like. The Exorcist is very good. I read that years ago. I actually like Phantoms by Dean Koontz. That was pretty good. The movie was actually pretty good as well. Frankenstein is on my list. I'm going to read that. Definitely going to read that before Halloween. But actually, I just got and read Who Goes There by John W. Campbell, which of course is much closer to the 1982 John Carpenter, The Thing, than the original Thing. It was great. Loved it. Fire stunt. I'm going to go with 28 Days Later. In the beginning, you have the Cillian Murphy character. He's already been chased, and you know, as the viewer, you're like, "Wow, these zombies are running. This is crazy." And then he's running away from several zombies in hot pursuit, and they're just careening off of cars, and just then all of a sudden, a few of them are set alight by his two rescuers, and I forget the name of the woman, but she's fantastic in the film. She makes it to the end. She just becomes one of the main characters. Spoiler alert. But as he's being chased, these zombies just are ignited, and they just keep running down the street. They're howling, screaming while still inflamed. I think one of them careens off of a car. The other one actually goes around it. Where I was the only one that enjoyed it. I'm not really sure about this, but I couldn't really. I almost was just going to skip this one, but the other part of that double feature, The Monster That Challenged the World. I watched it because it scared the crap out of me when I was a kid. So I said, let me watch this again and see what that was all about. I know there's a punctured eyeball scene that really got to me as a kid. And I watched the movie and I discovered, like, wow, this is a pretty darn good creature feature movie from that time period. It's really pretty good. I enjoyed it much more than It, The Terror from Beyond Space. Maybe other people like it as well. I haven't really heard many people mention it when they talk about creature feature films. The coolest looking creature, obviously, Giger. It's so hard not to pick Alien. I mean, what a genius Giger was. But I'm going to go with The Host, the creature from The Host. I can't remember the name of the director. I used to have all these Korean directors. They were just actually been to South Korea several times, and I was actually there right I'm going to say 2 years after The Host came out. And I've seen the Han River, and it was just, I don't know, just a cool connection there. I thought the creature design was great. And this was a creature that the stipulation was it could never have been a man. Certainly it was not. That darn Scott Wilson, he dumped the chemicals in the Han River and turned either a tadpole or a fish into that creature. It was great underwater. It was great in the water. I liked the way on land when it would kind of have this loping run to it, and then it got moving. It would really be moving, and then I liked the way that it would use its tongue to snatch up its victims and kind of tuck them into its gullet for later. It would regurgitate them and keep them alive until it was time to eat. It's a great creature. The most memorable ending of a film, if you consider this a horror film, I think most people do, possibly the Citizen Kane of horror films, and that would be the Wicker Man, starring Christopher Lee. Before the very end, you figured out why they've picked on Captain Howie, played by Edward Woodward, for this horrible treatment. Even if you have figured it out, the way that they carry it out at the end is a bit of a shock. And then the villagers kind of link arms and sing as we roll into the credits. And it also inspired an Iron Maiden song, of course, which is not a bad thing. So anyway, there's my horror tag video.
And I'll be back. I'll see people in comments. I'll see you in the comments. I'll see you in the chats.
I'll actually get my son to help me with some future videos, and I will be back. Thank you.